Devaki Paramanandam Krishnang Bande Jagadigurum. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We offer our salutation to Bhagavan Sri Krishna, who is the son of Vasudeva, who is the destroyer of the demon Kangsha and Chanura, who is the delight to Mother Jashoda, who is the teacher of all teachers of the world. And that Krishna I salute. Om, peace, peace, peace. So we are on the Narada's way of divine love by Swami Prabhupada, and we have finished our aphorism 5. 4, we have finished 4, sorry. So what we said in the 4 verses, it is, first verse was talked about what is called the bhakti, devotion. So it says they defined. Now I am going to talk about bhakti. That was the first verse. Athato bhakting bhakkhashama. Now second verse we read, what is this bhakti? Second verse says, sa, this bhakti, tu, but, satu, asmin, in this, parama prema rupa, love, intense love. So this devotion is not an ordinary devotion. This bhakti I am talking, O Narad says, I am talking that bhakti to you. That bhakti is but parama prema sarupa, whose sarupa, divine nature, is prema, love. What type of love? Parama prema, supreme love, intoxicating love, absorbing love. Parama prema sarupa, its essential nature. This love's essential nature. That's the difference between mundane love, worldly love. It cannot be intense. It cannot have that supreme, intoxicating. It cannot be. In this world, intoxicating love is attained, and that of the nature of a permanent nature is rare. It seems not possible. So this devotion is love supreme for that which is pure. And then third verse says, then what type of this bhakti, what type of love is this? It will be intense and it will be supreme. Hello, you don't know, it is Amrita. Amrita Swarupa Cha. And this is of the nature of Amrita, nectar. One drop of nectar if you drink, then you become immortal. So this bhakti makes you immortal. Other bhakti, other love, anything we love makes us slave. Makes us all victims of anxieties, to lose, even if you have. I may lose. Even it is today, it is beautiful, tomorrow it may be different. A person loves a woman, or man loves a woman loves a man. He may be nice today. For disease or something, he will look ugly. He will look old. He will look hair grey. No? That unchangeable love is not. But it is like that, it becomes like in nectar. It's intense, and that intense absorption in that love makes one perfectly nectar-like, eternal. Empowering. And that empowering means, yes, it is all power. And that power is such a power of attraction that people who are suffering in the world for some disease of worldliness can be cured. That's the Amrita means. Next, fourth verse we read, If you attain, what happens? Why shall I work so hard for this? What happens for that? If it is love, but what is special love about? People, those who are day and night in entertainment, they are fun and this and that, they are also spending more time in joy. They don't see the other side of their life, who have money, who have youth, who have friendship. All fans come. When you are a rich guy, around you all fans will be ha 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 ha, swing and dance. When your financial days are gone, no one will look at you. World is very terrible. So, but this is, if we attain once, then labdva puman siddho bhavati, they becomes perfected. Once you get it, you are perfect. If you are perfect, you don't need anything more. So, yang labdva puman siddho bhavati, amrito bhavati, tipto bhavati. Three definitions have been given. We read that. Verse number 4. That yang labdva, that bhakti, supreme love, if you attain to that love by your good karma, by your prayer, by your crying and weeping for God, if you once attain, you become siddha. Once perfected, you become soft. Siddha also means, we explained the other day, siddha means soft. Anything boil, potato, hard potato, boil, it becomes soft. Anything rice, hard rice, you boil, it becomes soft. So whenever anything is boiled, that becomes soft. A hard rock-like person, a idiot-like person becomes soft. Valmiki, he was killing people because he needs money, ruthless. Kill, get money. And Narada appeared and said, hey, you are killing people, why unnecessarily? And who will take the share of your sin? You are incurring sins. Well, why? Everyone will share, my mom, dad, brothers, husband, my wife, children, everyone. I am doing for them. And he was ruthless. And then, in the touch of holy man, he became what? This says Valmiki. Rama 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 Rama. So it becomes Amrita. He was immortal, he was deadly, he was harsh, he was rude. He became boiled, suddha, soft, tender-like, no? And tripto bhavati, siddha bhavati, amrito bhavati, tripto bhavati. 2 times they are talking about amrita. 3rd verse also they say amrita. This bhakti is of the nature of immortality. Here also says, you attain, you become immortal. You become immortal. You look like, as you are outwardly, you will be the same person. But inwardly, you will be amrita, nectar-like. You will be full of bliss, absolute. And you will be tripta. A 3rd point is very important. Tripta, satisfaction. Perfectly satisfied. There is, in dissatisfaction, will go away from life. Because there is no such thing that perfect satisfaction. People are millionaire, they want to be billionaire. Where is satisfaction? And billion is not that 1 billion. This is a low billionaire category. Just is 1 billion. I am to 2 billion. 2 billion, multi-billion. Multi-billion, then go further. If you can come trillion, we are talking in our dining table or what time? Mega. Mega is inconceivable. 1 million we are talking today in our dining table, or listening. How can you imagine 1 trillion? How trillion is? How much will be that $1 trillion? Suppose you think $1 trillion. What is that? Say $100 bill is there and $1 trillion. Will this room be enough to hold that? No. So, but it is more than that. It is no more desire. Because you are satisfied to the full, to the brim. Your whole heart and soul and mind and everything is saturated with love, 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 love. What a beautiful state of achievement. This is called the bhakti. We are talking of that bhakti. Not that emotionalism. A little bit and and then again dissatisfied. No? We see different devotees do the same thing. In bhakti school there is a danger. People get satisfied with little dancing and singing and emotional outburst rolling down in the ground. Good, that's good. But this is not stay. After that you go back to the same old guy. Of dancing, this is so far is that moment you have height. Your mind moved. Mind has just gone to a higher level. And then when you come out, your joy is gone. So that's a regular spiritual practice. That is the means of reaching. Anyhow, so that was the fourth verse we have read. Gaining that, man realizes his perfection and divinity and becomes thoroughly contented. Now, today also, what is the result of achieving this parabhakti is mentioned in the verse number 5, which we are going to read today. That is on page 27 of this Narada's Way of Divine Love by Swami Prabhupada. So what does it say? Fifth verse. Yat prapyo na kinchid vanchati. Again, elaboration what we have said. Yat prapyo na kinchid vanchati, na shochati, na dvesti, na ramate, na utsahi bhavati. Few qualities have been given. Beautiful. And what type of accomplishment in life people get satisfied with achievement, gaining that BA degree, MA degree, master's degree, their PhD degree, their whatever an accomplishment in some of some result of research work. But it does not compare what you will get here. This achievement you cannot compare with anything. Yat prapya. Prapya means attaining. Yat means that bhakti when you attain. Na kinchit vanchati. You have the least desire for anything in the universe, anything in the world. No vanchati. Vancha means asking or expressing desire. No shochati. There is no reason that you will feel that any time you are to lose anything or grieving anything. Grief comes when it was there, we lose something. Our friend, our own people, when they die, it puts us to tremendous grief. But there is nothing to lose. So we'll never grieve anymore. No? And not dresti. Dresti means it is a feeling of enmity. He is my enemy. He is competitive. He always competes with me. So, in the world of duality, we feel that dvesa, aversion. Dvesa, I can tolerate him. I can look at him. Such a mean guy. I can't take it. Where is that? See, that totally goes as no enemy. There is no enemy. For a realized soul, as Vedanta says, they have no enemy. And Bhakta reached that perfection. There is no enemy. Who is the enemy? All as Krishna, the same consciousness, same consciousness. He is the boss here, and is everything permeated by that reality. It's almost, the definition as is given in the Bhagavad Gita, in Sthita Prajna, the signs of Sthita Prajna. This is the same sign we are talking about. If you attain this bhakti, super bhakti, supreme bhakti, you will be like that. Your question of enemy, or your question of what you call good, bad, competition, as you said just now, that dvesha, enmity, they have translated enmity. If it's free from hatred, this book has translated. This book says, one attaining that, A man does not desire anything else. Oito. That is the first point. No kinchid banchati. He has nothing to desire more because you have achieved that. And then, let me see. And then does not desire anything. And he does not grieve any mean. There is nothing to lose. Attaining that, there is nothing more than that. Vedanta says, if you become one with Brahman, then what to lose? There is nothing to infinity, no to infinity. It is only one infinity. If you become tuned to that infinity, infinite joy, then what for you will grieve? What can go out of your hand? You are not there, you are merged into the cosmic reality. And then it's free from hatred or jealousy. That is the translation this book has done, which is our one of the big stumbling block. That's called not dvesti. It is no jealousy, no hatred. Whom you will be jealous about? Whom you will be hating? It is all Krishna. Or you can see it is all that divine love. Divine love permeates. When divine love, you can say Satchidananda Ananda part only. They are emphasized only most of the Ananda part. That's why bhakti sadhana is all joy, 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 joy. Means it is the Ananda, the aspect of tremendous blissfulness. If that is attained, you cannot be jealous of anybody. You cannot be hating anybody. Therefore, no sochati, no desti, no ramati. He does not take pleasure in the varieties of life. I will have this, I will see this, I will wear like that, I will dress like that, I will give. In our sannyas, that's why I say, you give up all this desire. Your desire for your nice hair. That's why sadhus become, what do you call? Bald.
Or shaven.
Shaven. Even the nuns, they become shaven. The hair, I look good, my hair is curly, my hair is long. Hair industry. Now COVID has stopped all these things. But I say, what can you do? But there's nothing wrong. But it is saying that people feel that I look good, I this. No, these are not. This to find pleasure with my hair doing, with my face lifting and chin lifting and this and that. That's for the body. Or for any other thing. There is no such thing as the no ramate. One does not find any raman means rejoice. He does not rejoice in anything. Even the story we are reading where today or what I forgot. The Hanuman, when he got this astra, the weapon, then Mandodari was showing the monkey some jewel, a diamond, so that seeing this he can drop that weapon. But he does not give up. That means no expectation, no value of a jewel to that person. Because he has got so much jewel inside. His jewel is so much filled up with joy and blessings. So he does not. So no ramati, no utsahi bhavati. He does not become very eager. Eagerness, utsaho, enthusiasm. I want to see this, I want to know this, I want to go there, I want to see. That all goes. What to search for? You got the end result of all searches, end result of all endeavors. So these are the 5 conditions they have given. Yat prapya, attaining which, one condition, na kinchid banchati. He does not, attaining man does not desire for anything. One point. Second point, na shochati, free from grief and hatred. Third, not dvesti. He does not, na kinchid banchati, na shochati. That means, one is the point that he does not desire anything. Second is not grieving for anything, shochati. Third is it is free from hatred and jealousy. Third, not dvesti, he does not ওই hatred হয়ে গেল, nor ramate, he does not find, does not take pleasure in the vanities of life. Whatever in the life, it is all vanity of all vanities, except for the love of God, no? Who said that? Jesus Christ said, vanity of all vanities, except love for God. You attain all these things, but you are a beggar. You remain a beggar. It is nothing to lose. You attain all wealth and prosperity, then you still remain a beggar. But you have, because you are too, your mind is tendency is to find joy, fun, enjoyment in the world. All those objects which are not permanent. Now utsahi bhavati, and he loses all eagerness to gain anything for himself. Beautiful. 5 qualities, no? These are the things for which you are running, chasing pleasure. These are the whole human life is what? If we look at that, it is all chasing for these things. I shall be, I desire this, I achieve this. That's one point. Kinchit bancha. I will not lose anything. All my friend, I will live not here, in the heaven. We'll go and we'll live together. So that desire for bereavement, fear of bereavement, there is no such thing. Dresti, to be hateful for anyone, or to see that which is undesirable for anyone. That undesirableness goes. There is nothing undesirable, because you are established in all that is perfect. And no ramate, that means he is not interested in finding pleasure in the objects in the universe. All object in duality is object. Search for Ramana. No, ramate is Raman. From that came ramate. Does not do any fun, any extraction of tries to find any joy in these things ephemeral. This earth, anything in this mundane world is temporary. And even you go to the heaven, heaven is also temporary, is it not? Long period you can stay, but you cannot, no one can stay in the heaven forever. Indra has his duration. Even the god of heaven, he has his period. In one term, like president. Whatever good, bad you do 4 years. Then you have to be re-elected. Your karma is good, can extend you another. Then 2 terms, that may be possible in US presidency. The 3rd time, no. So you become president. That's what? You do all your power and then you become ordinary citizen. Who cares? Out of respect people can go. But who cares? Your power is gone. But this is not that type of achievement. Bhakti love, attaining bhakti is not in that, does not fall in that category. It is called that, does not take pleasure in the varieties of life or vanities of life. These are all vanity for him. Attaining name for a monk, for a renunciate, for a devotee, meaningless. Power for you. Power for you. We are talking about today in the dining table about that sadhu, Alexander, and the name of the sadhu, what is the name? I forgot. So he said, just get out of my sunbath. That I don't want anything from you. No? So I don't care for anything. Come to palace, I will keep you with honor. I don't care for that. So this question is that nothing of the world of vanity pleases that person. And na utsahi bhavati, he does not find excited for, oh, I am getting this, I will do this, I will go for further this. No excitement for him. All excitement stops him because he has achieved such perfection, such blissfulness, such peace, unending peace, forever, everlasting peace. So these are the 5 qualities, five achievements, great achievements one can have. You can say achievement, or in Vedantic term, it is not achievement. Rather, we are fool. We are losing all these things now, being distracted into other side. Not for those who are not real, we are all fall in the category of that victim who are losing this eternal blissfulness, this blissful, stable, permanent, eternal, infinite, unalloyed joy. And we are trying to rush and gain through the objective universe. So, now let us go to read the explanation. 5 points, please remember. So first point is what? That young labdva, what becomes? First point? No desire. No prapu, no kinchit banchuti. He does not desire anything. Huh? So here, as a parallel to this aphorism, Swami Prabhupada says, let me quote Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, explaining the characteristics of an illumined soul. It is almost the parabhakti, that's why it says parabhakti and paragyanam are the same thing. So it says in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Sthita Prajna, the sign of a Jivan Mukta, what is that? When he says in the second chapter, he says, he knows bliss in the Atman and wants nothing else. Because he is full in bliss, he does not want nothing he craves for. Craving torments the heart. He renounces craving. Craving, you want anything, you are a slave. You are the most miserable person. Anything you crave, even a little, some small thing. That's why Holy Mother said, you crave anything, vasana, any desire, even a fiber is there in the, what you call the thread, it does not enter into the eye of the needle. You push it, it will not go. That little fiber is blocking it. So here it says, cravings torment the heart. He renounces craving. I call him illumined. Bhagavad Gita says, not shaken by adversity, not hankering after happiness, free from fear, free from anger, free from the things of desire. I call him a seer and illumined. The bonds of his flesh are broken. Flesh means the bodily, eating, sleeping, or the 5 senses which connect in the world. The bonds of his flesh are broken. He is lucky and he does not rejoice. We rejoice, we are unlucky. That's why we get joy at this moment, and when it is finished, we get frustrated again. But this knower of truth, what he does, his flesh, tie with the flesh is broken. He is lucky, that's why, and does not rejoice. He is unlucky and does not weep. I call him illumined. He does not rejoice and he is unlucky and does not weep. Unlucky? Why it is unlucky? He is lucky. The bonds of flesh are broken, he is lucky. Because the bonds has broken, that's why he is lucky. And does not rejoice, that's why he is unlucky. But no, He does not weep like an unlucky person. I call him illumined. That means who goes beyond this duality. Now let us examine the meaning of each of the parts of this aphorism. It is perfectly an explanation of the same verse from the Bhagavad Gita versus this Narada Bhakti Sutra number 5. Sutra or aphorism number 5. Now, first quality, that on attaining that, a man does not mean man, don't be, because these books are written old timers, they call man. One does not desire anything else. Better to say one. One does not desire anything else. What does it mean? Shankara says in the commentary, the fruit of illumination is the stilling of desire. Still means calm, no desire. Desire is ripple. Stilling or calming the desire. I have no desire.
Flattening the heart.
There is no wave. Desire is always a wave. I want this, I see this, I feel this, I heard this. All the sense perceptions are creating wave in the calm lake of the mind, in the Raja Yoga. So Shankara says, the fruit of illumination. What is the result of illumination? We are talking about result. What is the result of bhakti? But the Swami is explaining here what is the result of same thing, of your jnana. The result, the fruit of illumination is to still the mind. Whole Raja Yoga deals with that. How to still the mind. Chitta vritti nirodha yogaha chitta vritti nirodha. Patanjali's yoga philosophy. What is called yoga? See, same. Where chitta vritti, the ripples of the mind, the jumping, bumping of the mind is stilled and calm. The fruit of stilled desire, result of, if you can still your desire, is experience of bliss of the Atman. Next verse says, Tada drashtu sarupe avasthanam. When your mind is still, no desire, no craving, creates ripple in your mind, then you become perfectly calm, and that is the bliss of Atman. That itself, drashtu means the witness, Swarupe, in its essential divine nature, avasthanam, he stays in his essential divine nature alone. And which ultimately, whence it leads to peace, ultimate peace. So, fruit of illumination, if you attain illumination, what is the net result you will attain? That is called still. Your desires will be still. You don't crave anything. And the fruit of still, as you master your mind to be calm and not running for any desire, is experience of bliss of the Atman. You know what is the joy, unending joy within. And that unending joy will lead you to peace, perpetual peace. 3 stages. You can say 3 stages, or one leads to the other automatically. Desire arises from a sense of limitation. Desire arises from a sense of limitation. I am limited. I have not this, I will get this. There is the desire's function. If you have that, you don't crave for that. What you go for shopping when? When that item is necessary. If it is in your home, 20 pounds of potato is there, you don't go for shopping potato or asking for potato. When it is not there, then you go for that. That means there is imperfection, there is voidness. That's why we go for fulfilling our desire. So, desire arises from which point? A sense of limitation and imperfection. Perfect, I am imperfect, I am limited. So I am imperfect, I want to be perfect. I am limited, I want to have unlimited thing. A man of attainment feels no lack. What else is there for him to desire? There are 2 words in Sanskrit. Nish kama, which means desirelessness, and purna kama, meaning which means complete fulfillment of all desires. One is that you have no desire less, you have no desire. But how can you be no desire? Because you are full with all achievements. So fulfillment of all desires. In the ocean, as all the streams of water merges into the ocean, but it does not change the ocean. So kama kami, no, Brahmagyani, second chapter it says, when streams of desire may come into him, but he remains undisturbed. Because he is already full. In the ocean, if you put 100,000 gallon of water, what will happen to the ocean? 100,000 water, nothing will do. So big, it will not do anything there. To raise water there, this is limited example. So limited example, limited thing is good. Suppose you can say 20 buckets of water you add to the ocean. What will happen to that? He has so much water, he does not care for your 20 buckets. So it is it is silly question. He has nothing to ask for. That is Purnakam. A man of God. Who is man of God? Is Purnakama. Whose kama, whose desire is Purna, is full. There is no space to absorb anything more. Therefore he does not look at anything. Or he looks at everything as his own self. He sees Krishna everywhere. He sees a mother everywhere. This is a language. Vedanta, Atma everywhere. A man of God is Purnakama because in him there is complete fulfillment. There is nothing more to gain or to achieve. It is said, the Bhagavad Gita, what it says Gita, then he knows that infinite happiness which can be realized by the purified heart, but is beyond the grasp of the senses. He stands firm in that realization. Because of it, he can never again wander from the inmost truth of his being. That means he gets stabilized in his own heart. He does not crave for anything. That's why the realized souls, they are so self-satisfied. Atma Ramo Bhavati. We'll get it after some time. You attaining this bhakti, what you get? You become self-pleased. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't have any craving for anything in the world. It is because you are so saturated in your own self-joy. You are joy yourself. It is said that then he stands firm in the realization. Because of it, he can never again wander from the inmost truth of his own being. And later, now that he holds it, he knows this treasure above all others. There is a difference between spiritual aspirant and a man of attainment. A student and one who has perfected. There is a difference. We are all students. And there is a difference who has been perfected. So what is that? To quote the Gita, what is that? The abstinent run away from what they desire, but carry their desires in them. As we are all trying, no? We want to, least we get attached to something, least we get affected by these desires, we try to run away. It's called renunciation. No? It is necessary. Then we bring, no, it is impermanent, I should not think of this, I should not get it. All these thoughts we bring. It's a student, we are student. So, the abstinent run away from what they desire, but carry the desire. They may run away, but what happens? We all understand. A mind, it is in a subtle way. It is craving Rasagulla, Rasagulla, Rasagulla. Doctor says, don't take Rasagulla. I don't take Rasagulla, no? Every time Osim or they prepare nice cakes and things, I say, I don't eat it. I don't need it. We may check from outside. But mine, it's good. It's good. See, we don't give away from our heart. Externally we are trying to separate out, but internally we carry them. That is the student. Student of bhakti, student of jnana, student of dhyana, student of karma, yoga, all are like that. They try to renounce. First outside renunciation, then inside renunciation. There's two-step renunciation. And you cannot jump in one step to go beyond all. That's why first is renunciation outside. But though you give up outside renunciation, but it is such a fun. We carry it in a very subtle way in our mind. So that is but carry their desires with them. When a man enters reality, suppose a man of reaching into Brahman or in the devotion, he leaves his desires behind him. As if the desires he can throw away, get out. It's gone from him also. So that is the difference. Student of spirituality, they try to give up the external first. But though they give up, they internally carry it. Not willingly, but they are forced to carry that inside. And now fight. And when that also goes away, no desire in the mind even, then is the para-bhakti, the supreme love or supreme knowledge will come. Or supreme Paramatma Jivatma will merge. So there is no more ripple in the mind. But there is one desire left in him. Yes. Knower of truth, I said no desire, but they kindly keep one desire. And what is the desire? It is to serve God in mankind, like Vivekananda, like Ramakrishna, like Sri Chaitanya, like Christ. They have no need for their own. They are fully satisfied. But they do live in the world for the good of the others, give advice, serve them, to serve God in man. The heart of an illumined soul moves in sympathy with the sufferings of others. Ramakrishna said, I can give up this body, but your love has kept me bound in this world. No? Love, God's love for humanity, love for those who are suffering in the world, that keeps their mind down. When Sri Ramakrishna asked Naren what he would look like most, Naren replied that he would like to remain absorbed in samadhi, coming back only occasionally to normal consciousness in order to sustain his body by eating and drinking a little bit, and then again becoming absorbed in samadhi. On page number 30, top. To this, Sri Ramakrishna said, shame on you. I thought you are greater than that. Then Sri Ramakrishna reminded him of the ideal of service to God to mankind, no merely to taste the bliss of God for one's own self, but to help others to taste of the same bliss. Truly, has it been said in the Bhagavad Gita, who burns with bliss and suffers the sorrow of every creature within his own heart, making his own each bliss and each sorrow, him I hold highest of all yogis. So, Gita says that he is greatest. We hear that story, that there are two types of realized soul. One type of realized soul become illumined and they are absorbed in themselves. They are fulfilled. They also do good to the world by their good vibration. They send the vibration. Their presence creates good to the world. But some come forward a little bit down and stand by the suffering of the people, like Ramakrishna, and touching someone, inspiring their inner spirituality, putting them into higher ecstatic level of joy. So redeeming like people all over, going to Calcutta out of its own wish and to help them. So these are the higher type of yogi. He grieves no more is the second point. Only he suffers the sorrow of every creature. Now, another point now comes. He is free from hatred and jealousy. Eh? Now, kinchit banchati, we have discussed. And second point is free from hatred and jealousy. Jealousy or hatred arises from unfulfilled desires. Everyone in the world, whenever we find anyone is jealous of anyone or hate anyone, it happens because of the two. Analyze yourself. Don't glorify yourself. You are in this problem. Hatred and jealousy comes because it in man who sees his from unfulfilled desire. And when your desire fulfilled in God, then how could jealousy or hatred exist in a person who sees his beloved everyone? Can he hate himself? If God is everywhere and that vision comes, can he hate? We are reading one place, Manusha Dharma, the religion of man, written by Rabindranath Tagore, that great Nobel laureate. He was in Calcutta, in Chaurangi, with his elder brother Jyotirindra. And in the morning time, early morning, they used to get up. My father used to make that practice. Early morning. Our fathers also used to say, in the early morning, get up, get up, get up, get up. He said, birds are already up. They're singing song. Chant the name of God. He said, that early morning. And we are all sleeping. No, no, get up, get up, get up. So that is a good training. That's early morning, chant the name of Lord. So he was out and he was sitting and came out in his room where he was in that Calcutta, that place Chaurangi, and he saw the sun is rising. And as he come out on the top of the building and all the trees or whatever, suddenly he said, a drop of veil was removed. And I saw, I felt that light, that experience. And that experience, it overpowered him in such a way that 4 days he was imbued into this thought that everywhere, everything looks much adorable, lovable. He loved the person who is ugly or who is bad qualities. Even in that person he feels some attraction, love for that connection. So this is the experience. It has happened because he is past, he is practicing Bhur-Bhuvasva for a long time, got from his dad. So Bhur-Bhuvasva and meditating on that verses, he is preparing himself and in a moment that veil dropped. So if it happens to any one of us, we'll see the same thing. How will you hate anyone? How will you see the fault in others? You cannot do that then. For our correction, that they may teach us something, but then in the internal core of their mind, they only love. They only see the divine, only in dark cover. He sees the beloved everywhere. But supposing someone hurts or insults a holy man, how would he react? The best illustration is that given in the song of mendicant in the Bhagavad. The mendicant was badly hurt and insulted by some ignorant people. And he walked on saying himself, even if thou dost think another person is causing thee happiness or misery, thou art really neither happy nor wretched, for thou art the Atman, the changeless spirit. Thy sense of happiness and misery is due to false identification of yourself with the body, which alone is subject to change. The self is the real self in all. With whom should you be angry for causing pain if accidentally you do bite your tongue with your teeth? Will you punish your teeth or your tongue? Suppose inadvertently your tongue is beaten by your teeth. So will you take a hammer and start hitting your teeth. You don't do that. Because your teeth, your tongue. So, though one is very sharp and one is very soft. Tongue is so soft, no? How it turns your food all the time inside. And it's so soft, and sometimes you get a bite. But you don't give punishment to the teeth. Teeth is bad. In childhood time we used to do. When you are walking, the right leg hit your left leg again and again. And the child does punish the right leg. Hey, you are hitting the left leg. As if they are two. But matured person never does that, because he feels I am the right leg, I am the left leg. I am the tongue, I am the teeth. Whom to punish, whom to see bad, who is good, who is bad. In the eye of a knower of truth, that bhakta, there is no difference. He does not take pleasure in the vanities of life. That means another point. His heart is Brahman, in Brahman, the eternal treasure in whom is the abiding bliss. So naturally, he cannot give his heart to pleasures that are only fleeting. Plotinus says, there are no more two, but one. The soul is no more conscious of the body and mind, but knows that she has what she desired, and that she is where no deception can come, and should not exchange the bliss for all the heaven of heavens. So there is no more two, but only one. The soul is no more conscious of the body and mind, but soul knows that she has what she desired. She has achieved what she has desired, and that she is where no deception can more come, and she would not exchange that bliss for all the heaven of heavens. Even heavenly joy comes, he is not going to give up that joy, what he has achieved. This does not mean, and he loses all eagerness to gain anything for himself. That is the another point. What does it mean? This does not mean, however, that he becomes inert and does not act. It is true that Sri Krishna says in the Gita, when a man has found delight and satisfaction and peace in the Atman, then he no longer obligated to perform any kind of action. He has nothing to gain in the world by action, and nothing to lose by refraining from action. However, Sri Krishna urges his disciple to act, saying, your motive in working should be to set others by your example on the path of duty. Sri Krishna says, the ignorant work for the fruit of their action, as we all do. The wise must work also, but without desire. Ignorant does with desire, follow akanksha, and wise man will do the same thing. Relentlessly they work. They can work more than we do. In our order we have seen many our Brahmagyani sadhus who work relentlessly day and night. How they can do at that age I do not understand. But they don't feel the burden of work. They are always fresh. Many times I have seen them, I go to them as if there is nothing to do. He is waiting for you. And if we do some little work, hey, I'm busy today, don't come. I cannot see you now. My phone has come, very disturbing. But I have never seen the great Brahmagyanis. Baba, you cannot believe what tremendous work they are doing, but so calm, so serene. And as soon as you go, you find that as if he is waiting for you. He listens to your questions and then talks to you. And then when you go away, but how he could manage other things, only God knows.
And keep candies.
Keep candies. So Sri Krishna continues, the ignorant work for the fruit of their action, the wise men work also, but they work without desires. Pointing man's feet to the path of duty. Let them show by example how work is holy when the heart of the worker is fixed in the highest. There is another meaning of the last sentence in this aphorism. He does not exert himself. Right? He is not enthusiastic. No? Utsahi bhavati. Utsaho nahi. Utsaho, enthusiasm is not there for whom? Who is a dull person, careless person, who wants to avoid work. I don't care for it. And then he wants to shift it to others. But Brahmajnani, but lover of God, is not like that. They are not excited for achieving, but whatever falls, they do the best. It is given to you, then you do. And he does the best. But he is not enthusiastic. I'll have to do this, I'll have to go there, I'll have to bring people. And sometimes it happens. Some of our older sadhus say, oh, our congregation is having only few people. Go to that, there are thousands of people. You will want the number or you want the quality. You live your life. God will bring his person. That is the philosophy of our order. We think that I will have to prepare, I will have to do this lecture, that. You do your best. But you know it is God will do it through you. You surrender. You are for spiritual growth here. You are not here to be a lecturer, not to have a very big guy in the name in the newspaper. What newspaper? How many names are coming every day in newspaper? Suppose my name comes in LA Times. What is that? 7 billion people. Who cares for LA Times? How many billions of, how many million, I would say million maybe, newspaper in the whole world? And out of that maybe LA. And you think, my name has come on the third page, last column, one year. And I am so ha. You pay some money and your name will come in obituary. So you are the world famous then. We feel how poorly about ourselves. We want to be thinking that we are something great because my... So these are mundane, does not buy his will. There is another meaning of the last sentence, that is to say, he does not act by his own will, he has completely surrendered his will to the will of Lord. As Tennyson said, he is quoting Tennyson and others, our wills are ours, we know not how. Our wills are ours to make them thine. Our to thine. Let our will, our desire, be our will to your will. Let thy will be done. Almost time is up. So, sorry. No, I will finish it. A few words are there. A conversation I once had with my masters, Brahmananda, illustrates how an illumined soul acts as directed by the will of the Lord. One day he asked me to look at the almanac to find an auspicious date for his departure from Madras. As I did so, I could not help smiling. Maharaj, Swami Brahmananda, noticed this and asked me why I was amused. I replied, well, Maharaj, you always go through this routine whenever you plan to go anywhere. But then when suddenly make up your mind to leave, then you go on some other day. At this Maharaj says, do you think I do anything according to my own will? The devotee insisted upon fixing some date for my going to. So, to avoid constant pestering, I fix a tentative date. But I do not move or do anything until I know the will of the Lord. Wow. And my will to thy will. Then, do you mean to say, I asked, that you are always guided by the will of the Lord? He is asking directly his Guru, Brahmananda. Do you move everything by will of God? He said, yes. Well, Maharaj, then he put the question again, Prabhupananda's question. Well, Maharaj, I too may think of or feel that I am doing the will of God, when actually I am only following my own inclinations and attributing them to God's will. Is not that what you do? Oh my God, challenging Maharaj in such a way. And then Swami Prabhupada says, no, my son, it is not the same. Then he said, then again Prabhupada Swami, then do you mean to say that you actually see God and talk to him directly and know this his will? Maharaj says, yes. I wait until His will directly, until I know His will directly, and He tells me what I should do. That's our wonderful tradition. That's why our some Swamis taught us that when any situation comes, problem comes, you can take your own decision, but that's not good. You give it to God, pray to God, and let the direction come in your heart. After continuous prayer for a few days, your mind will direct yourself. Not that like them, like Maharaj, Ramakrishna comes and says, hey, do this. You are not that great, we are not that great. But your mind will bend in one direction. Do this. You will feel, it is good. After prayer, it comes. Then take that path. That is God's will. So, yes, I wait until I know His will directly and He tells me what I should do. For everything you do so? Is the question from Swami Prabhupada. Maharaja's response is, yes, for everything I do, I have the direct guidance of God. Baba, who can say that? That's why they are spiritual people par excellence. And do you accept only those disciples He wants you to accept? Because He is interested in His own self. He is a disciple of Maharaj. He thinks, for me also Thakur came and told you that give initiation to Prabhupada. Is it so? Or you gave it? Huh? Maharaj says, yes. After this talk, I began to better understand his peculiar way of acting. For example, whenever anyone of us would ask his advice, he would say, wait, my brain is not working today. Huh? Or he say, my stomach is upset. I will answer you tomorrow. Anything you ask Maharaj, you don't get any immediate work. Some people complain. You go to this Swami, he will always put you hanging. He will not answer now. You say, okay, come tomorrow. Okay, then I say, come tomorrow. And Maharaj used to spend time to get a direction from inside, say, okay, my brain is not working, I cannot respond to your question today. Come tomorrow. That means he gets some time to pray and feel the direction, what God wants, what Ramakrishna wants. Huh? Similarly, if someone comes for initiation, I am not feeling well, my temperature, my stomach is upset today. Like that. Is he telling lie? No. If stomach really upset, they say their stomach will be upset. Because they are all established in truth. If they say, I am feeling fever, fever will come then. But this is taking time to understand what God wills. These are their, as I said, extraordinary spiritual people. So, but when Maharaj did finally speak, there was always a special power behind his words. So, this is at the end of this aphorism number 5. We will discuss verse number 6 next day, which talks about what? Again, further explanation of achievement of bhakti, what you will attain. He says, Jajgatva mattu bhavati stabdhu bhavati atmaramo bhavati, attaining which one becomes mattu. Means, mattu means will be what? They have translated, intoxicated. One will be intoxicated, one will be like stuff. It will be calm, like a rock. Or he will be Atmaramo, will be absorbed, continually enjoying the bliss within. So we'll talk about that. Verse number 6, next day, Sutra, the Bhakti Sutra 6. On page 33, we'll start then. Acha, is there any question or anything?
There is one question. I also have one question.
You have also one question. Okay.
Isn't it true that any decision you take, everything has positive side, some positive, some negative side. Nothing will be foolproof.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. That
So if
whatever
it,
you take,
yeah,
then
what
it will show you some
okay,
good
good. So your question is that when we do something, anything we do, there is a positive side, there is a negative side.
thing. No, I don't.
Acha, but That is for us, because we are driven by our ego. Our decision is not perfect. But when it comes from God's will, that it has a different perspective. It will be only good only. Because God has the perfect vision and experience. What is good, that will happen. But when I do something without prayer or without anything, driven by my ego, that has a different result. So, when driven by God's will, because God has created the entire universe and He has no personal feeling of liking and disliking or doing this or not doing. So, we are imperfect, therefore our decision, our expectation may be little problematic. It may not be right decision. That's why our decision and Madhavananda Swami's decision. Madhavananda Swami, because they are perfected, their direction, and that is the right decision. Somebody asked Maharaj, how could you do Swami Madhavananda? We come with serious problem, and you give the decision, and afterwards we see that is the best decision possible out of so many alternatives. But how it happens? Well, I do not know. I don't think of anything. That means he makes the mind blank, or makes it for just open to thought, God's, and then whatever comes in the mind, he thinks it is God's will. And that will be less reactive, no? Any person, say, someone Bin Laden is trying to destroy the Twin Tower, he thinks that his thought is correct. He is spreading God's name that way. Maybe, but that has its consequence so much bad. But Krishna tried to stop the war, but it didn't happen. But Krishna guided Arjuna not to take a false step. But death was inevitable, because their karma will bring that death. All the forces, both the forces fought. Some fought for justice, some for unjust thing. But it was guided by God, by Arjuna. So their correction there was less faulty. But if it was done only by the ego of Duryodhana, that is danger that created. Achha, anything more?
Yeah, moral. When you say everything you do has a whole positive, now how do we know in a bigger picture what we think is bad may bring the
Yeah, ultimately may good.
Yeah.
For the time being it may bring bad, but ultimately it is good, no? When something has abscess in the and doctors, when they operate, or somebody comes and injures you. Someone injures you, you are suffering. But someone is removing this abscess by cutting it, and doctor is doing good to you, though it appears some pain.
No, but you know,
Acha.
if you get hurt by one incident of Lahiri Mahasaya from self-realization, he was walking with somebody and he told the other guy, just tear up some material, I would need little band-aids. And then, immediately big fell and cut his head or something. So the other guy said, if you knew the big was going to fall, why didn't you change side? So Lahiri Mahasaya said, my karma I have to go through, otherwise it will come back in such a bad way.
Right.
So what we say is bad may not be that bad.
Yeah.
Actually, if the whole world is run by God, then even if we make decision, that is what I'm thinking.
We don't make decision, that's the problem. When we make decision, there is good and bad. More bad than good. But when it comes from prayer and surrender and getting the will of the Lord, that decision is more perfect. Apparently there may be some mistakes, or there may be some reasonable thing that it is bad, but it is not ultimately bad. If you see the period of time you see, that is not bad. So this is the question one. Give us householders some practical ways to attain the bliss state easily, and we do not hate anyone. Oh, this is a question of practice. You please practice your mantra, please practice this prayer, and try to read the life of the great souls, and remind yourself, no, I shall not hate. I may not like, but I will try to think that there is one word, hate the sin, not the sinner. This word is very important. We must have to have something troubling us, and that bad thing is to be avoided. But the sinner who is behind that sinner is God himself. So we have to put this idea again and again, to think that God has become the whole universe, and for his good everything is going on by his will. So let me do my part and offer myself at his feet. So that should be the attitude. All the practices, mantra japa, prayer, meditation, selfless karma, all are part of purification to make us to reach that state where there is no desire and we reach the perfection. Okay, we end here now. Thank you all, and we will be again meeting you at 7:30 our evening time, 7:30, for the nectar of supreme bliss. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishnarpanamastu.